Welcome to the Sales Lab.
I'm a young person thinking about where I want to take my first job. What would lead me to UKG versus anywhere else?
Great question. Where do I start? I think there's a lot of things. The first and foremost thing for me is that it's a culture of growth. We are not standing still. We've changed more and continue to be more agile than we've ever been in the 11 years that I've been here. But we do so in a way that deeply cares for the employee. You know, I've seen candidly, I've seen a lot of people leave UKG of like, I got this great offer, a ton of money. And then, they're immediately like, I got to come back because it's a really unique, I care for one another. I want to see you thrive culture. And then there's just some candidly, there's just some really fantastic benefits, like all of your premiums paid for medical, dental, vision, a 45% 401k match. You just don't see that out there. I keep believing someday that 45% 401k match will have to go away, but I'm going to continue to max it out until it doesn't go away because it's so fantastic. But the other element too, like I in fact, yesterday as a leader, I just got my organization's Great Place to Work results. And so we send a semi-annual survey to all of our team. And one of the things that I, as a leader, am held accountable to is not only that my team is performing and hitting our sales revenue targets, but also that we're doing that in a way that inspires trust and makes people want to work here. And so where people are able to give feedback on, when all else is done, I'm proud to work here. And like my group was 98% positive, to have people that said, I feel like I can go to my manager with new ideas. I feel like I'm given the resources to do my job. And then truthfully, when we miss a mark on something, when we have an area that goes down, like I'll meet with my team in the next 2 weeks on, here's some areas that we're going to focus on as growth areas for us as an organization. And I just don't know that there's a lot of places that are investing that much or growing at the rate that we're growing revenue wise. We're all in on double digit growth, but also doing that in a way that says people drive that growth. And so if we don't take care of our people, eventually the revenue will stall. And so it's a both and for us, which is a really unique place in a corporate world.
Okay. And what skills, I think you already mentioned one of them, problem solving, but what other skills, competencies, knowledge, what would an early career person need to bring to the table to really succeed at UKG?
I am always looking for a self-starter. I want somebody that can show me, whether it was in college in a program or another job that they've done, hey, I was given a problem and I didn't need somebody to give me the step to step, this is how you solve it. I need people that say, here's the problem. I have no idea how I'm going to solve it, but I'm going to go figure it out. Because this role, and I mentioned this before of how fast we're changing with AI in particular. Every day, almost, we get a new tool in our toolbox to go build and use to drive a better customer experience for our customers. You can't move that fast if you're not a self-starter. So that's something I'm always looking for. Candidly, like yes, I'm in the human capital management world. And so we love people that have HR experience. If you're an early career coming out of college, you don't necessarily have direct HCM knowledge. I would argue the flip side is figure out as an employee or as a college student, where have you used HR systems? You've used them somewhere. Like we talked about before, tax filing, you've gotten a paycheck. You've probably watched learning and development training somewhere. You've probably had to answer a survey in some component. And so think about what your experience was as an employee or as a student using those tools and bring that story and that influence. If you can turn that and show I've learned from my personal experience, that would be great. And then my last thing is coachability. Nobody's going to be perfect. I make mistakes every day. That's part of the job is making the mistake, recognizing the mistake, owning it, being vulnerable to talk about it, and then making a difference. And so it happens a lot that I have people that are like, I've done this for a long time. And I'm like, yeah, and I've done this for a long time and I'm still learning something new every day. And so if you come in with that hungry, coachable attitude, that goes farther than knowledge in terms of industry or software knowledge. The attitude makes a big difference. And so I would go in with that attitude as well.